Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Mai, and today I get to share with you a build that I made inspired by Taylor Swift's Fearless, or should I say Fearless, Taylor's version. And originally I was not planning on doing a Fearless build next. I really wanted to make a Midnight's one, and I actually did end up making it, and it turned out incredible. It was everything that I wanted it to be. But unfortunately, the footage was just completely unwatchable. So I know that I'm still learning how to do all these things, but it was pretty discouraging. So I decided instead to go ahead with a Fearless themed one, just until I'm ready to revisit making a Midnight's one. And I'm actually really glad that I did. As you can see, it's not a castle, and I don't know, you're probably thinking Fearless should have been a castle. And even though I did have it written down in my notes that I was going to make a Fearless castle, I realized that Fearless takes place in the mind of a teenager who is imagining themselves in a castle. So better than making a castle, I should make a house that's just the perfect place for a teenager to imagine themselves in a castle. And so the way that I decided to kind of go about that is by making this kind of older house. I want to tentatively say Victorian house. I say tentatively because I feel like I tend to mix up the architectural words for those kinds of eras and stuff. So pretty much just a old, very elegant, very romantic home with just a lot of balconies, a lot of big windows that are just perfect for imagining some scrawny, greasy teenager is throwing pebbles and asking you to run away with them. So yeah, it ends up having 3 bedrooms and 2.5 bathrooms. And the way that I decided to kind of furnish those rooms is by making it for 2 teenagers, one of which is more of the teenage heartbreak part of the album, so 15, White Horse, Breathe, and then the other one is more towards the hopeless romantic part of the album, so Love Story, Fearless, Jump Then Fall. And yeah, I'm really glad that I got to capture those 2 sides of the album. We are jumping ahead now. I didn't include the floor plan or picking the wallpaper and the flooring because it was very time consuming, and I don't know, I just wanted to get it right without the pressure of don't jump around too much and all of that. So anyways, we are starting with the kitchen first. I always feel like the kitchen is a great place to start because I really feel like the kitchen is where, I don't know, it really sets the tone for the rest of the build, the rest of the family. Because I feel like you can tell a lot about a family by the way that they use their kitchen. And I really wanted this to have a lot of cabinets, a lot of counters. I wanted it to feel like it gets very used, but not too cluttered. I don't feel like this is a very cluttered family. So yeah, but I still wanted it to feel like, there's a lot of holiday cookies being made, and I don't know, they every morning starts here. So yeah, it was a kind of an odd shape, and it was a little bit difficult to do, but I think I figured it out in the end. I wish I didn't have to put the sink there at the front, but with just the way that all of the counters worked out, it just made sense to put it on the island. It was, the right place for it. And I also really wanted to add this breakfast nook, so I don't know, where people do their homework. And, I feel like the kitchen is going to get very used in this house. And now we are moving on to the living room. I feel like I have such an issue with the love seats in this game. I don't understand why, if you're already making a 3-seater couch, why you can't just make an identical one that's 2 seats. Obviously, I am not a graphic designer or a programmer or anything, but I don't know, I just feel like you don't need to change anything. You don't need to change the color, the style, or anything. Just make it a little bit shorter. That's probably the biggest issue for me when I'm making living rooms and family rooms, is finding a love seat that works. I'm actually pretty surprised that I had to use 3 different packs for those, for the seating area. I used the love seat from Book Nook, the armchairs from Cats and Dogs, and the couch is from Growing Together, I think. I don't know, that was just very shocking for me. And here behind the couch, I put in the standing piano from Growing Together. And in this corner, I really wanted to put in a shelf, but I couldn't I don't know, I just couldn't find a bookshelf that fit in that corner. So I do end up putting just like an armchair. I use the armchair that's supposed to match the one that I put in the kind of bigger general space. So it's from Cats and Dogs, but it's the one that doesn't have arms. I don't know if you can still call that an armchair. But yeah, I end up putting that in that corner just to kind of like fill in the space. And also like right behind the couch, I put in that trunk that's supposed to be like a TV stand. I feel like it's a really good surface to put in places. I kind of wish that we had more things that were like that. I don't know, it's like not industrial, but it still adds like, I don't know, an extra style to the space. I don't know, I think it just looks good. And it also has a lot of color swatches. But anyways, we are moving on to the dining room. Another issue that I have is plants and planters. I couldn't really find a planter or a plant that fit in this space. So I end up sizing up these urns that are from Base Game and just trying to make my own. I know that we've added a lot of like kits and like plants in packs and stuff to try and fill in like that lack of plants, but I just felt like there wasn't really one in this exact style. But anyways, we have also we've also started on the formal living room. I kind of tried to keep this entire space, especially like this formal space, very like minimal clutter, minimal decorations, because I feel like this space in general isn't a very like, it usually isn't very cluttered. It's usually where you have like the holidays, or maybe, I mean, I imagine that this, like the parents here have a lot of money, so they have important clients and, you know, they need to show off and say, look, we have a lot of money, you should give us more. I think that's how that kind of life works, right? But anyways, yeah, I tried to keep it very minimal clutter, the entire house really, so that the game wouldn't lag, but also these like I don't know, the entryway, the formal living dining, the parts where you show to the public. I feel like this family would want to keep it very clean and very organized, you know, best face forward. So I tried to kind of, I don't know, keep it clean, keep it minimal, keep it elegant, let's say. And now we are moving on into the sunroom, which you can see a built-in bookshelf that I made in the back just kind of off camera. I end up not keeping that built-in bookshelf. I end up changing it somewhere between finishing the build and the screenshots, because I was very like obsessed with having a built-in bookshelf, and so I think I got a little bit over eager and made this, I don't want to call it a monstrosity, but I really, really don't like it. I don't like the way this one turned out. So I end up making a much cleaner version, not as built-in looking, but I don't know, it just looks better with a desk and everything. So yeah, in this sunroom, I imagine this is like the place where the family gets together to, I don't know, do puzzles together, play board games. I don't know. I do put in a chess table from Base Game. I feel like Base Game has like it had a lot of like, I don't know, the perfect furniture for the style that I was going for. I think it's like the Queen Anne, they call it. But it just had like the perfect swatches and like that light brown kind of cream color. It was just perfect, and it fit this space really nice. I feel like this space, I guess, is used a lot for like logic skill building, but I don't know. It's a good sunroom. I really like it. And we are starting on the master bedroom now. I furnished and unfurnished this build about a million times, and I just wasn't really sure how similar to the rest of the house I wanted it to be, because I do feel like the master bedroom in most homes is just like an extension of the rest of the house, because clearly like the style of the rest of the house is determined by you know, the people that are sleeping in this room. So I tried to like bring in the rest of the house, but I also wanted it to be a little bit different and feel a little bit more lived in and loved and you know, slowly built, because you know how, I don't know, when you're kind of furnishing your home, you don't always get all of the furniture at the same time, and I really wanted this room to reflect that. And I don't know, it'll feel like I just felt like it was going to feel more realistic to have that. And I also wanted to add more like darker browns, because the rest of the house is very light, and I just wanted this one to have a little bit more of that depth and character by having like different darker browns. I don't know, the different like wood textures to me just says that there's more to it. But yeah, I also kept the clutter in this room very minimal. I end up like decorating it more off camera. I was, again, like just very overwhelmed because of the amount of times that I had to furnish this room over and over again until I got it right. So yeah, here we are moving on to the first kids' bedroom. This is the teenage heartbreak bedroom. And I had already placed the bed because, I don't know, I sometimes just, when I'm trying to like figure out the right energy for each room, the bed is the best place to start. And this room has a lot of musical instruments. I put in a keyboard, I put in a guitar, you can see right there at the corner of the bed, and I also put in like a writing desk. I feel like this person, they write songs that, later on in their life, they'll look back on and say, wow, that person was really not worth crying and writing over. But that's just part of the teenage experience. And I really like this chair that I used at the desk. I believe it's from My Wedding Stories, but I think it's called My Wedding Stories. I don't know. The Wedding Stories pack. And it looks like it has like a ribbon, but to me, that's a cardigan. That looks like a cardigan. And I love the color. I think it matches the room. It matches the bed. I love like the pink that I've added in both this room and the other teenager's room. I just feel like it adds like a lot more warmth and like femininity and just a little bit of variety, so not everything is just exactly yellow and cream and brown. But yeah, I also created in both of the rooms this very like large like rug space. I feel like I see in like a lot of like 90s and 2000s movies and TV shows that, I don't know, everybody like does their homework on the ground or writes on the ground or cries on the ground. And even though I can't imagine because that would hurt my neck so much, I just felt like, I don't know, it would just be a really good kind of touch and personality. I don't know, it just gives it a lot of personality. But yeah, I really love how this room turns out. It's just the perfect place to cry about being a teenager because being a teenager is just really, really hard. And in this corner, I put in a lot of posters. I really like that one of like the singer, the like pop star, because I feel like this person, they wrote the song Superstar. And I don't know, it was just the perfect fit for this room. And here we are already moving on into the last bedroom. This is the Hopeless Romantics room. I have, like I said, the really big rug in the middle where I imagine they like dance around and put music on and just, I don't know, really like love dressing up and just very like confident and I don't know, very in love, whether it's with themselves or whether it's with somebody else. They are just full of joy and they haven't been weathered by life yet. But yeah, I also end up putting in like a lot of clutter later on the ground where I feel like for them to, it makes it look like they're a little bit messier, which I think adds like a lot of contrast to like the rest of the house, which I think is really cool. And maybe just kind of like hints at like the parental child conflict, let's say. And here at the foot of the bed, I really like this kind of like media table that I added where you kind of have the TV that's facing the bed. So, you just cuddle up with your friends and watch a movie. And then I put in a stereo facing the more open part of the room so that they can put on that music and dance around. But yeah, this room is definitely like the most cluttered. But it feels very like, this is kind of mostly what I imagine like Taylor Swift's room looking like when she was a teenager. And the kind of hobby that I gave this person is I decided that they were going to be a painter. So in that little like octagon room in the corner, I added in an easel and just kind of made it like an art studio, which I feel like looks really cool. I don't know if they like did rock, paper, scissors to figure out which one of them would get like that cool secret room, or if one of them is older and that's how they decide it, or if they're twins. I really don't know. I didn't think that far. I just felt like they were just both teenagers going through it. And yeah, this room actually uses a lot of base game, a lot of like the painter lock, like the locked items that you get from the painter career. I use that a lot in here, and I think the thing that I used that wasn't from like that pack, like from base game, is the lamp and that couch, which the couch is from high school years. And now we are finally at the last room to furnish in the house, which is my favorite room, the greenhouse. And this room just ends up being, I don't know, it's just perfect. This is when you talk to Romeo about running away and hiding somewhere, like you meet them in here because it's cold outside. So you meet them in here. And in here I added like a nice seating area. I think this one's from Horse Ranch, the benches. And I add like a tea set as well from the Wedding Stories pack. And yeah, it's just, this is like an amazing room, either for reading or for just hanging out with your friends. And these chairs, when I first saw them, I was like, I'm not really going to use them a lot, but they were actually perfect in this room. And I also add in like not the cottage living. Is it? No. The Seasons flower arranging table I put in the back. I also use like a lot of the clutter items from, or like, I guess they're like shelves from the greenhouse, what's it called? Like Greenhouse Haven and the plant, the blooming rooms. I put in a lot of like just the gardening themed packs have a lot of really good clutter to put in these rooms. And also, like, before I took the screenshots, I got like my little sim to put in to like plant some flowers in all of those planter pots so that when you download this build, you'll have the plants already blooming, the flowers already blooming, ready to be arranged or to be given away. And now we're finally at the screenshots. Here you can see the exterior, you can see some of the landscaping that I added. You'll get to see I added a pond in the back as well. I added some like planter boxes on the windows. There you can see the greenhouse outside and you can see the pond. Oh my God, it's amazing. I feel like I usually have a hard time doing outdoor spaces, but I think I did it right with this one. And here's the porch with just some flowers and a rocking chair. And here's the entryway. Again, like I said before, it's very clean, very elegant with very, very just like minimal stuff. I don't think that they allow their kids to drop their bags off at the door. And here's the formal dining room. As you can see, I just added a little more clutter. I added the globe from Vintage Glamour so that there is a bar in this house, for the guests and for the teenagers to sneak maybe too. And here's the formal living room. Again, this is the area that has the least amount of personality. Here we are moving on to more personality, which is the living room or the family room. Again, a lot of flowers. I felt like it really needed flowers. This room just feels really, really cozy. Like this, the family gets together to watch movies here. Well, not here. This is the bathroom. This is the downstairs bathroom, the half bath. And now into the kitchen. I also kept this. I think I had said before, I didn't really want this to be a cluttered kitchen as much as just like a loved kitchen. And yeah, just a little trash bin. I didn't forget the trash bin. And here's this little corner where I feel like they just keep all the snacks. This is the corner where they get the snacks for the movie. And now the sunroom. Here you'll see the desk a little bit and the final built-in bookshelf. I think this looks way better, way cleaner. And just the upstairs hallway, I just put a little like entry table and a bookshelf. Here we have the main bathroom for the kids. It's very long, so I got to kind of make like one side that's bathroom or that's toilet and sink, and the other side is the shower and bath. Here's the master bedroom, and you can see just like the little extra pieces of personality and clutter that I added. The mirror with the ottoman over there at the back, I think looks so nice, and I'm glad that I was able to add that with a clear head. There was just the balcony that comes off of the master, and here's the bathroom. Not too much to it. It's just a bathroom. I obviously, for obvious reasons, didn't include it in the actual video. Here's the best bedroom, in my opinion. I don't know, it just feels like this is really a room where you feel creative with all those big windows looking out onto the big like pond and greenhouse. This is just a very, I don't know, I would cry in this room. it's a very good room to cry in. Here's the other bedroom that has all the clutter on the ground. I don't know, I feel like it really works. You can kind of see in the corner right there, I added the high school years pom-poms on the wall. Maybe they're the cheerleader, and maybe they stole the other sister's like crush or something, or the other sister's like crushing on her boyfriend and being like, oh my god, you belong with me, she's just a cheerleader. That would be bad. Oh my god, I'm talking right over the screenshots. Hopefully they speak for themselves. But yeah, just a little bit of hobby, like skill building stuff on the top balcony. And then this one just has like a grill and a seating area and a little bicycle out front. Or I guess not out front, it's in the back. Here's the pond area. I think it looks really cute. Very minimal landscaping just for you to dip your feet in. And the greenhouse, look at the plants at the front. I think it ends up being like so warm and nice. This is definitely like a space where I would most want to hang out with, between like the flowers and just like, I don't know, the colors and the vines on the windows. And look at that glass ceiling. It just looks beautiful. Oh my gosh, this was an amazing build to do. Bye buds, and thank you so much for watching. I really had such a good time making this. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. Comment and share with your friends. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.